Good evening, kids, squids, and anywhere in the bagging state in between. We have got a killer match lined up for you now. If you're not from the Midwest, maybe you're not sure, but these two schools hate each other. That's right.
They
Ohio
hate each other?
State and Michigan, longtime Midwestern rivals, at least in sports. Splatoon maybe remains to see. But that's what we've got lined up for you here. Grace, why don't you tell us about some of these teams?
Heck yeah. Well, first of all, I think it's really funny. Both of these teams have a forfeit. That's very funny to me. But other than the forfeit, University of Michigan is 2-0 right now, and Octos and Squids United White are 0-2. What's really funny is that I had the pleasure of commentating another Ohio State team last week, and you yourself might know a thing about Ohio State. So this is a very fun match for us too.
Me know something about my school? That
Maybe.
doesn't make a lot of sense. I think you're
Perhaps.
lucky.
Yeah, I'm just a little guy. You know what I'm not lying about though, is that we're starting on tower control shifting cargo. It's down there, it's down
Yeah.
there. It's it's the mother lode of all lockout. It's kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's become a bit of a staple, but it's a little controversial sometimes. I feel like people want us to get rid of it because it's kind of lockout heavy. People don't like it. People still want us to keep it. And then again, people also just don't like tower control anymore. And I don't know what people like, and it's very confusing.
Yeah, I think one of the key things on this particular map mode is once you're able to round those first few checks and start pushing further into their base with the tower, it really becomes a question of can you clear the opponent's high ground? And for that, you're going to need some displacement specials, things like the strikes that we might see from the Slosher, or perhaps the Booyah Bomb from this S-Blast on the other side.
You know what I see on the other side is somebody named Dork Juice and somebody named Just Farted. This is the He's the best member names I've ever seen in my life. But I love the comps coming out of both of these teams here. OnSU whipping out the Wiper. I love to see her, love to see her. And the Heavy has been getting so much play recently. It's just, you just farted all over the paint. It's beautiful. But not if you are Michigan here, because going up against OnSU with this comp, it's kind of checks all the boxes. Like there's aggression, there's the strikes, you got the GG specials, and you've got hella paint from Just Farted. I'm just trying to see how many times I can say Just Farted until they kill me.
Yeah, but it looks like Michigan is taking a hefty lead here at the start, able to clear that original dive from Dork Juice and has just been rolling with their specials ever since. We saw OnSU was able to get a quick kill on that first checkpoint to try and contest, but a Booyah Bomb from Michigan put an end to it, and now they are rocketing towards the final checkpoint.
Ooh, oh my gosh, and the pencil's uncontested on the tower pretty much there. And they just roll right on, like you mentioned. Was that like a 100-0 push? I mean, that's what it felt like from
Yeah,
our
they got it
POV.
in one pretty much. That was a lickety split finish, but I think it's kind of interesting. We really saw this great stagger of the specials from Michigan here, where first they had the Booyah Bomb come in after the Blaster had moved up and gotten a few picks, and it led to this really strong stagger on the side of OnSU here. And because of that, they just were never really able to get a good control of their court area because they were never really able to get more than 2 or 3 people alive on their high ground. And as we were talking about at the start, that is such a crucial position when you're trying to keep that tower at that intermediate checkpoint.
Yeah, I think with staggering, I mean, there's something to be said about, like, don't let it start in the first place. Like, I think it was Just Farted. Again, going for how many times I can say it. So it's so funny to me. But I noticed that they pushed up on the grates trying to contest the tower when it was at that first checkpoint, and University of Michigan still was trying to get their push really off the ground. But all their friends were down, so them pushing up there is risky, and it's like risk for not a lot of reward because it depends on how much value you're going to get as the backline pushing up there, and then that led to the stagger itself. But I feel like you can get wiped as many times as you want, but if you come back from it mentally, that's like that's going to be your bread and butter there. I think it's all about mentally stopping yourself from your brain getting staggered too, to where you just kind of get super down in the dumps. So if I'm on Sue here, I'm going to be holding hands. If we're all in the same room, I'm holding hands and we're hugging. If we're on VC, maybe we're just clapping for each other or doing like the goose noise on Discord. I like the goose noise. But Clamblitz Mako Mart, it can be a bit of a lockout moment too, but I feel like it's more of a testament to how good your coordination is. Tower control, if you just kind of sit on the tower and get picks, ooh, maybe that's a hot take. You just kind of win. But with clams, you have to be actually good at the objective. You can't just kind of dance around. You have to be cycling clam. You have to be passing them to each other. You have to go back during the push to get them as well. There's a lot of semantics, and there's like an economy involved. So I think OnSU White, this might be their map mode.
Yeah, I think in particular what we're going to have to worry about is something similar as what we saw from Michigan in that tower control map. The S-Blast is really nasty when it gets under those ledges. And we saw that on the ledges of the ship-shaped spawn. We're going to see that exact same situation potentially come up here on Mako Mart. Now, on Mako, we do have a bit of a longer spawn area that we can work with, a bit more area along that ledge to spread out along, but that blaster is still going to be a problem. So how OnSU decides to deal with that is going to be a big factor in how they are able to approach this match and try and flip the tables on Michigan here.
Yeah, and looking at OnSU's comp as well, I mean, just farted still on the heavy. I'll stop saying it. But yeah, they have the Wiper again. They've got the Slosher again. It feels like, and with the Blaster, like this map in theory should be going well for them. The Warpy is, what I say like that, Warpy is like, y'all, what if I just, what if I get a really good opening pick and I get another pick onto the Slosher, completely backing up OnSU. They're back into this corner here. They're chipping the heck out of the Wiper, and they just exploded, just farted, and Dork Juice, my favorite name. No.
Yeah, that is a bit rough. Another direct coming out there. They got a killer flank with this blaster on the start, created a pincer onto the side of OnSU, and the last two alive, that heavy and the blaster, they just couldn't fight off well enough, but they're able to hold the defense just a bit, so only 20 points going to go in on the side of Michigan. Now we see a bit of aggression stopped again by that blaster. That blaster is killer on the side of Michigan. Warpy is putting in the work.
Yeah, and I mean, behind a really amazing player getting a lot of attention, getting a lot of picks, getting a lot of chip damage, is a team ready to follow up off of them here. We see Crumb getting those huge picks, all that rain as well, chipping them to death here. Warpy again, gonna get taken out here by Dork Juice and just farted. I'm gonna stop laughing at one point in the set, but Dork Juice running in, not able to get another pick. Crumb here, able to follow up off of their friend's aggression once again, and they're staggering these clans really, really well. I feel like they're cycling them pretty well while staggering the members of OnSU too, but that might be the end of the push, unless I'm lying, unless Daisy's able to get any more clams in here, but no, I don't think that they're going to be able to get to the basket in time, especially with those bombs from OnSU. Oh, maybe I lied. Me when I lie. 10 remaining. Michigan, my gosh, they keep throwing in clams. They just
Two
need
more
two.
goes in.
From.
There's
Okay,
one.
Oh. Crumb, I know you see the clamp. Oh, Crumb does not see the clamp. This is devastating. I don't think the jump. No, yeah, they take out the jump in.
All the aura in the world, but not a single clam. That is going to be an unfortunate end to what could have been another 100-0 push, but it doesn't look like Michigan plans to be stopping anytime soon, making another power clam already, and really just starting this fight with Warpy on the left side, but the just farted on the heavy's going to be able to take them down. And we're going to see maybe a bit of aggression here as OnSU begins to move up through mid.
I feel like it's a really good call to have their backline just farted take out the S-Blast. Because I feel like the other members of OnSU are struggling with it. And it's like okay, do we 2v1 them? Do we jump in and then explode to them once again? What do we do here? And I think the answer is to get just farted on them. So how are they going to come back from this, though? A Warpy, not only killing them, has a bajillion clams in their back pocket. Crumb as well, going for the flank.
Looks like they don't see this flank on the left. Yeah, it's going to be huge.
Oh, wait. Okay,
Just two
what?
more clams in, one more.
Two more, the 2-point meme.
Surely this time we can find a flank.
Surely. Okay. The flank once again, getting them from behind with the spawn. My gosh, I feel like it wasn't a 100-0 push, but still an equally very, very dominant game. I feel like OnSU had the remnants of starting to understand how to deconstruct Michigan's comp and how to fight against them here, how to adapt, but they just didn't quite get it yet. But I still have hope for them going into Game 3.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're never out until it's over, right? Keeping that mental alive is one of the biggest challenges of tournament play. And, you know, as a team, you just got to figure out those ways to not only keep your mood up, keep your morale boosted, but also in between all of that, start making these tactical decisions like, okay, do we need to change our comp? Do we need to change who we're focusing at the start? And if I'm OnSU here, I'm looking at this blaster, right? Something's got to give with this Warpy, right? Getting way too much value on this blaster. We need to figure out how are we going to do that. And I think there's a few ways you can go about it, right? Blasters naturally are going to struggle if they don't have a lot of paint behind them. So you could try and contest on paint, but Michigan has a really painty comp. It's got that flingza, it's got that pen. Lots of paint is hitting the ground, giving that blaster a lot of ways to move. So you can try and outpaint them somehow, or you could perhaps change your positioning a bit. We have a bit of a aggro comp here. We've got the bucket and the wiper on the side of OnSU here. You might try to move to something that's a bit more mid-rangey, or something even that could just outrange it entirely. Maybe give the heavy some additional long-range support to really try and just keep this S-Blast in check somehow. Whether that's additional bombs, additional paint, there's a lot of ways to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because in my head, I was thinking like, oh, just farted on it. But as soon as they clock that you're adapting in that way and you just got one person laser focused on getting rid of the S-Blast, getting rid of Warpy, then they're just going to target them. Like they would throw all their specials at just farted, as much as people already do to backlines. It would probably get even worse. Especially on Segway, Splat Zone's Mahi Mahi Resort. I think a lot of things can go here. I mean, the ledges are one thing. It's a lot of that. I mean, there's a lot of like flat and awkwardly open areas of the map too, but I think it's fun and that a lot of things can work. So I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan stays the same, definitely, but I wouldn't be surprised if OnSU White also stays the same comp-wise. But what do you think? What do you think?
So I do know that White has a few different comps they've been considering, even up to as late as like midnight last night. So there is some possibility that we see some shifts here, but even after that initial pretty rough loss on game 1, I think they seem pretty confident in this comp. It's just a question of sort of harnessing this aggro, right? As I said before, they've got these 3 pretty aggro weapons plus the heavy, figuring out how they can leverage that into this super painty, area control-y comp that we see from Michigan here. And on zones in particular, where paint is the name of the game, it's kind of figure it out now or
explode. No, yeah, and struggling indeed OnSU White on this opening. They go 3 down, just farted is going to get back to just a little bit. I'll stop laughing, I promise. But they have their wave breaker here online. Oh, but Warpy ready to pounce on them as soon as they peek out. Okay, they do trade them here, which is going to be good for OnSU White's aggression, but they're just so ready for them. I mean, Daisy there following up of their teammates. Warpy's going to go down once again. I think they jumped in and then got murked by the strikes, I think, which is hilarious. But, I mean, if I'm OnSU White here, that cap is going to mean a lot for me. That's going to give us a lot of space to move. It's going to give us some more breathing room trying to get control of the sides here. Once again, Dorothy's going to get a huge hit onto Warpy. Yes! Huge kill, and I am cool on the back foot, running away from this stamp, not able to run away fast enough, and Daisy might go down to the... Oh, okay, they don't. I called it. I commentator cursed them. They don't go down.
Blocked by the wall, but Warpy trying to retreat runs right into Dork Juice, who is now up in the spawn of Michigan. Now we're going to see, maybe for even the first time this match, how well does Michigan deal on the back foot?
Yeah, oh my gosh, and how well does OnSU White's aggression do well for them? How good are they able to keep their zone? Not quite good enough because they are going to get it taken out right from under them though. But I think that might be a little bit of a lesson of how far do you push up when you're trying to lock something out, especially on zones. Do you have to go that far? Is going too far just kind of running into their hands for no reason? I think if I'm OnSU here, I'm going to be looking at that as well because the members of Michigan didn't quite lock them out. Warpy here opting to get their friend there, that blaster, down. Dork Juice trying to go for another hero play, getting Warpy down here. This hammer as well, we've seen it do very, very well before if they're able to get it on into the zone. Maybe try to get another pick onto I Am Cool here. They opt to throw it at Daisy. It doesn't quite hit Daisy, but it does back up the members of Michigan right into that right corner, and they do get the cap from it. Okay, all hard.
Now they're able to secure this cap, but it's still not that great of a position. We've put some additional penalty points, bought ourselves some additional time, but we're not in the end able to stabilize our control of that zone. And as we just see, it looks almost as though they're not entirely sure how they want to approach this problem. We saw Anorak sort of jumping in there on the right directly into the eager jaws of Michigan, and meanwhile on the other side we saw the rest of the team just kind of focused on their own thing. It seems like there's a bit of split attention here that might be part of the trouble as they try to break this hold from Michigan.
Yeah, and Michigan is just so ready for them no matter what angle they go from here. We see their Flingza is sharking there on the left. Yeah, they're able to get everyone down. I mean, they couldn't even get close to the zone there at the end. They tried to go for the Hail Mary strikes at the zone, but they weren't able to cap it. My goodness golly gosh. But despite all of that, while Michigan is doing an incredible job so far, we're seeing the value that Warpy's getting here. They were doing a better job of adapting. I mean, OnSU White is looking a lot better at this set. The score says 0-3, but in my heart, they are doing very, very well. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to take a game off them here.
Yeah, it looks like they figured out what they want to do about this S-Blast, which is having Dork Juice go in, use that mid-range slashes of the Wiper to at least contest it a bit at the mid-range, but ultimately, right, try and get in on that S-Blast. Cut its mid-range, cut its AoE so that it's forced to direct you up close, or else it's going to lose the fight. And we saw that strategy seemed to be working. It's just a question of being able to actually get Dork Juice in onto Warpy without dying first, right? We talked about these different ledges that the S-Blast controls so well. We're kind of missing bombs on the side of OnSU White here. We saw the C-Blast, of course, that has the sensor. Wiper has Torp, which is helpful, but not, it's not a splat bomb, right? We've got the heavy edit, the heavy splatling, which has that sprinkler. And then the last option was really our main bomb, right? With that bucket and the splat bomb. So the bucket's able to clear these ledges. The question is then how do we transition that into our Wiper being able to go in? And I think the key for that is to realize how much paint this heavy splatling can put out. It can put out a lot at once with that one charge, but they've got to be very careful about where they're putting it, right? If you're putting it somewhere else when your Wiper needs to go in, it's going to make their lives so much harder than it actually has to be.
Yeah, that's a good point about the bombs. I didn't even think about that because I'm thinking about how are they going to fight together? How are they going to be able to pounce on Warp, I guess, but also just all the members of Michigan. I feel like maybe it's a bomb issue. I think getting in Dork Juice is also a very, very big part of it. Like you mentioned, every time that they got in, that's where they found their success. And I think getting in your aggressive front line, who likes to poke and prod, likes to grab attention, likes to be very annoying, like that's their whole shtick as the front line, getting them in is almost always your win condition. No matter what your team comp is here, though. Going on Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track, Rainmaker is such a tough match or a mode to be going in if you're at match point and you're on the losing end of that. If you're Michigan, though, you're probably feeling really good because you're like, okay, well, we know how good we are at being aggressive. We know how good we were at tower control. That's kind of like Rainmaker if you think about it because the thing moves. And also, we're really cool and we love ledges. So Humpback might be good for us here, but I think OnSU White also has a lot of good things for ledges. So it could be anyone's game as well, but Michigan has this momentum. They have so much momentum behind them here. And well, like I said, this is match point for them. This is do or die. This is a replay from week 3, reschedule from week 3. But even so, this could be a lot for them.
Wow, and it looks like here we're going to see our first bit of change-ups in the comp. Not too surprising, Humpback is a unique map, as we love to say. Definitely has a bit of a different slant to it, with AoE being particularly helpful. But it looks like just fired on the heavy gonna go down real quick. and the Blaster is going to follow the Flingza soon after, and Michigan is already on their way to this first checkpoint.
My gosh, and they crack it within the first minute. Not even the first minute, the first 30 seconds here. My gosh, they're cooling up. Daisy here's going to grab it once again here, and we know how good they're at handling it there because they were able to push all the way up to this first checkpoint that we've seen so far. The Crab following up off them.
Yeah, that was a good stop from
well.
White there with the missiles, using that special to really say, hey, look, we know you've got this crazy aggression, but this is Humpback, this is the choke, you're gonna have to come through here, and we've got some missiles with your name on it. And now, not really too big of a lead on the side of Michigan. 42 is not that crazy here on Humpback, and they are rapidly approaching this first check here with the Booyah threatening from behind in mid. They've got to decide where are they putting their attention.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Oh, Dork Juice is able to get the dunk on that pedestal. This is very, very huge for them here. But I mean, Crumb is already ready to follow up off of all the paint that they have in mid here. I feel like OnSU White has a bit of a paint issue. Maybe that's what's making them struggle here. I mean, the Heavy can paint as much as it can. The Flingza as well here. But if you're getting staggered, if you're going down, how much paint are you really getting out?
Yeah, I think it's really going to be on Just Farted here to find those safe spaces on Humpback in order to get this paint out. But it looks like OnSU is able to turn it around, keep control of mid as that hammer's coming out on those last few stragglers on left there. But it looks like Michigan's actually going to turn the left side of the map into a push of their own, sending two people along that flank as the Pen contests mid. And now we are just scrapping in mid around this Rainmaker. Splashdown's not going to find anything, though, and the Booyah's coming out. Will Michigan be able to push off of this? They're going to get one. The Aura's coming out. What can we push off of this?
My gosh. They are coolered up. They are crabbed up. They've got a bajillion bombs. I feel like they're like raining hellfire onto White here. I mean, Daisy here controlling this Rainmaker like a champ, using the Rainmaker like a weapon, which I love to see. I mean, I feel like folks just kind of cower in the corner with Rainmaker here, but you can pop shots. You can get so much damage onto your enemies here, especially on Humpback. It's just kind of like a clear path forward, a clear path for you to just keep pocking shots here, just to stall for your teammates, maybe stall for a special, stall for a pick or two, and see what you can do here. Dork Juice here is tired of the stalling, tries to drop down, gets taken out though. Ooh, and Daisy gets a double, but the missiles do slow them down slightly here. And thanks to their Flingza, they aren't quite able to get a pick onto Daisy though, who gets all the way to 16 remaining here. My gosh.
Anarika dropped for that flank there, but was still able with that Blaster AoE to turn around and stop that Rainmaker before things got too out of hand with a potential knockout being threatened there. Now, it looks like OnSU actually not going to go for the reset. Just a late pickup on the Rainmaker there with Just Farted, but now, again, as we said, that paint for those Slayers up front is going to be diminished with the Heavy being replaced by the Rainmaker. Now, the Rainmaker does put out a lot of paint, but it is vulnerable, as we see right there, a flank from Michigan all the way around the other side of mid is able to put a stop to that threat of the push from OnSU there. Another Cooler's coming out. The pressure is not stopping from Michigan here. With just 1 minute on the clock, it's do or die time for OnSU here. We've said it a number of times already. This is match point, so the Rainmaker's going to come out, not quite survive that Booyah bomb, and it looks like we're in danger time. We've got the Flingza going down as well. It is just Farted on the side here, getting to jump in with Dork Juice as they try to push this Rainmaker, which Michigan is smartly now moving into OnSU's side, putting as much distance between them and the lead as possible. 30 seconds on the clock.
Oh my lordy lord. 2 down on Michigan though. Ooh, and with that amazing hammer coming out from Dork Juice here. Okay. I was going to say they don't jump out there on Michigan, but they do manage to get out there. My gosh, good move from them here. But Dork Juice on the front lines, they don't have the special online. Okay, Splashdown comes out. That's good. It's going to get a lot of room for them here. They're able to get even more aggression. Oh no!
Yeah, but did you see it sneaking over that ink rail there? Oak on the Forge snuck in just past that onslaught of the Wiper and the Blaster, and it's from that back position that the Rainmaker's going to go down just as we hit overtime, and unfortunately that's going to be the end.
My gosh, I feel like Michigan looked so great that entire set. It felt like anytime it felt like OnSU White had a bit of an advantage, like they were adapting, I think Michigan just adapted faster, quicker, and more aggressively. No matter anytime OnSU White had a little bit of breathing room, it felt like, excuse me, it got taken away from them by Michigan, who was just so dominant this entire set. It makes sense. They're 2-0 for a reason, minus the one forfeit. They're 2-0 for a reason. Well, now 3-0 because they just won. Now that I mention it, yeah.
Yeah. It is a bit rough there. I think if you're OnSU, you really just got to take the time to look back through these matches and go, what were we not getting about this? We figured some things out. We started dealing with the blaster. I think in Humpback, that was the closest match that we had seen so far. There was really a back and forth that we saw that match. So there was clearly learning going on. But what were we missing? What else could we have learned in this period of time during the set that could have pushed us over the edge, could have started getting us those wins?
Very true. And for Michigan, I feel like, they're in striking range right now to try to get to playoffs. Not quite. They're like middle of the pack in their group right now. So if I'm them, I'm feeling really good, and I'm hoping that this week's match for week 5 will go well for me.
Yeah, best of luck to Michigan as they are moving on in the rest of the qualifiers here. Best of luck to OnSU White as well, of course. You're down, but you're never out. Even one win against a team is able to shake up how those playoffs end up being ranked. So you might not be able to get in yourselves, but you can certainly deny someone else. So just keep on trucking through, keep learning as much as you can, and honing those skills so that we can see you guys again bright and shining in the next semester.
Indeed. But what's really cool about this season, this season of the league, is that we're doing little player interviews when the teams agree to it of the winning team here in these sets. So hopefully I'm not stupid, and the little worm in my brain will tell me if I'm stupid here, but we will be interviewing a lovely member here from the University of Michigan who we just saw win 4-0. Please introduce yourself, this mysterious member who is here. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Daisy. I'm the captain of the Platoon 3 team for Michigan. I play Penn. I'm a freshman. I'm majoring in physics. That's me.
I've done a few CCA. That was like the best intro I've ever heard in my life. I know everything I need to know about you. Beautiful, perfect, and you're a freshman. Okay, wait. First of all, I'm not gonna ask the fancy CCA questions first, but so this is your first CCA season ever, right?
We had one last season as well, or last semester as well. Sorry.
Right. But your first league, but you did the circuit, but it's your first
Yeah.
league. Yes. So how does the league format compare for y'all? I'm assuming you guys have a similar, if not the same roster here. How does this compare for y'all as opposed to the circuit?
I think the circuit was nice because it let us, if there are times where we only have one day to practice per week, and that would be just the circuit, and so we would get a ton of games with a couple different teams, whereas the league can sometimes be the league gives us more time to prep because we know exactly who we're going against, but on the offhand it's also okay, we need to have more stuff prepared outside of it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okamu, do you want to ask the next question? Do you want to ask the next one?
I've got another special little question, right? You said you're captain of the team and it's your freshman year, right? Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that's been, right? I imagine getting used to college is its own unique experience, right? But you're also adding this captainship on top of that. How has it been for you?
It's been a pretty smooth transition. I've been captaining another team for Ludi and the non-collegiate side of Splatoon for around a year and a half. So I already have a decent amount of experience, finding scrims and getting sets scheduled. But I think college is unique because I know all these people in person. It's just been so much fun getting to meet my teammates in person, and we'll go out to eat after playing our sets. It's just, I don't know, it's a really unique experience, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
That's so wholesome. I love that. I love team lunches. It's like the friends that you'll meet playing Splatoon are like friends for life. I'm a senior and I've been playing Splatoon with like the same group of guys for like forever. And those are my besties right there. Those are my homies. Hold them tight, hold them close, and eat as many dinners with them as you want. It's beautiful. But
Yeah.
actually talking about Splatoon because that's what we're here to do. My bad. But I'm very
Are you sure?
curious. Not sure. But in that Splat Zones Mahi Mahi Resort game, we saw a little bit of a turning point from OnSU White where they started to lock out y'all just a little bit. I think it was their wiper was in your spawn, but you guys responded so quickly and got them out, and then you won the game. You KO'd, right? So I want to ask, what was going through your mind when you were starting to get locked out a little bit? And was there any team calls? Was it just like easy for y'all to get those picks and get out, or what was that like for you?
Mahi is a very interesting map. It's very small, so you get cornered into your spawn pretty quickly. But I think it was just I don't think we kind of calmed it too much. It was more just like we took the fights we needed to. I felt like once we were able to get their wiper out of our plat, like it was just kind of the muscle memory of, because we played this map enough times that we knew how to get back into mid. Like I painted right. I think that's what we did, because I think they popped either booyah or missiles, and we just moved in with that on right side, and then we were able to collapse on them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and we mentioned before this was a replay from week 3, so you guys still have your final week match to go. Is that correct?
We already did that.
Already
So
played it. Wow. Can we get a small round of applause for efficient playtime? Not even default time, and they've already got their matches done.
We did have to basically me and the other captain. We made I think they ended up having to forfeit because they're going back to their hometown.
Yeah, for spring break.
So yeah, it was just really unfortunate timing. It is what it is. Oh, we would have loved to play it, but we didn't have any time. Like this weekend was the only thing available, and neither of us were able to get anything together.
Tragic.
It is. Yeah, things happen.
But you know what's not tragic was that beautiful 4-0 in the set that we saw. Y'all played so wonderfully, and thank you for taking the time to talk with us. If y'all make playoffs, I'd love to commentate y'all. If I don't, I will commentate y'all next season. But
yes,
thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes, and congrats.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
What a beautiful soul. And a freshman. Team captain freshman. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, if this is where they are in freshman year, right? I'm so excited to see what Michigan's team looks like in a couple years down the road. We're already starting off super strong, and it pains me as someone at Ohio State to say this, but in the spirit of a healthy, heated rivalry, right? You all wait. We always want to see those rivals being as strong and formidable as possible, right? You want that healthy bit of competition going on there. So good to see that they are doing well this early in their careers. I look forward to see how that turns out for them down the line.
You know what else I'm looking forward to? A match tomorrow on the CCA Twitch channel. Bam! At 8 p.m. I think, unless I'm hallucinating or the little worm in my ear will tell me if I'm wrong or stupid. Nothing yet, so I think we're good. But yes, there will be a match on stream tomorrow, probably at the default time, like I mentioned. But that's it from us. Where can lovely people find you? Wrong way. Pointed the wrong. No, I did point the right way.
You were right the first time. Yeah,
oh my
God. You can find me on Twitter or Blue Sky at Okamu for both. Actually, on Twitter it's I think the Okamu, but That's it. We all use Blue Sky now, right? So who cares? But you can find me there. I stream sometimes on Twitch. What about you, Grace?
You can find me a lot of the times commentating here. I also like to commentate Looting Tonight. I like to commentate wherever they will have me, which is not a lot of places because they hate me. And I'm strange. But you know what's not strange is my Blue Sky. Yes. I like to retweet like Pikmin stuff. That's kind of it. I'm sorry. Or repost, not retweet. Boo, Twitter. But yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky at tv.bsky.social, whatever that shenanigans are. But that's it from us. Another big congratulations to University of Michigan. They did an amazing job. Such a dominant set. So solid. And their captain is a freshman, like we just found out. The amazing lore. So they've got a bright future ahead of them, even if it's not in playoffs yet. But yeah, that's it from us. So good night.
Yeah, have a nice night, and do make sure to tune in tomorrow night for that set.